y'all for coming to the North Idaho High School Band virtual meeting. We're going to start talking about color guard percussion auditions. As I said, they will be virtual. This year, percussion, you're going to have to do a pitch recognition baseline. That's to gauge how you might do with some mallet playing. And that's going to be both recognizing the name of the note as well as finding it on the keyboard. All percussion are going to have to do some snare drum playing and a virtual interview. That will be for both high school percussion current as well as for incoming freshmen. They will have to do that as well. For color guard, Brooklyn is going to choreograph a dance for you, and she's going to ask you to record that dance and then submit that dance by a certain date, and we're going to do a virtual interview with all the people who are trying out for color guard, including the middle school students, as well as we make those decisions. As soon as I get everything kind of coordinated with the middle schools and as well as with Brooklyn, I'll have specific dates for that. So look for an email with specific dates about when we're going to do both the color guard and percussion auditions, the interviews and things like that. We're looking at probably doing that in early May at this point. So if you have questions, I will take those at the end of the session about anything. Just write them down and check back at the end. So moving on, spring concert. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do a spring concert. Even if we go back to school May 15th, when we go back, the last week will be exams. If they have them, if we do, we don't really know what that looks like. But we're not going to be able to do a spring concert in that last little bit of time if we go back on, after May 15th. There is a possibility of doing a virtual band. That would be meaning that individuals record their parts and then I'll edit them and mix them together to make a virtual band. We would probably just do that with one piece. The issue that we're having right now is that a lot of people don't have their instruments. I'm going to be sending out a survey either later today or tomorrow about who has what, who has access to what. I'm also going to talk to you in a few minutes about picking up instruments. I think it's at the end. That you do have a chance to come get your stuff to be a part of that. But unfortunately, we're not going to be able to have a spring concert. I'm assuming y'all probably knew that at this point. Musical. I am not entirely sure what Mr. Mack's plan is for everything. I know he was in talks with the company and whatnot. However, we will not be doing a pit at all. If they do anything with it later in the year or next year, and there was talk of maybe doing it next year in the early fall, bringing people back. That might be possible for him. I don't know, but we will not do anything with the pit. If you have a musical book, you need to make sure that you're prepared to hand it back in on the day we return to school, because it will probably be going back to the company at that point. I don't know for sure, but I do know that we're not going to be doing anything with the musical, even if Mr. Mack is able to put something together with his students. Okay, looking forward to Marching Band 2020. We still have band camp on the schedule. All right, it's guard and percussion is scheduled for July 20th through 24th, 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. Full band camp, July 27th through the 31st. The exact times will be decided as we get a little closer and I see what kind of my staff can do and whatnot. But those dates are still on the calendar. As far as we know, we are still going to be keeping those exactly as we did. Marching band leadership for next year. It's going to be a virtual process for deciding who leadership are. There's going to be a Google form that you have to fill out with some questions, similar to how we've done it in the past as far as the writing that you have to do about some leadership topics. We will be doing virtual interviews for the marching band leadership. That will include all leadership spots. So anybody who's going to apply for leadership will have to do a virtual interview. It's not going to be just for drum majors. With it being a fully virtual process, I want to make sure that I get a chance to talk with everybody. So we will do virtual interviews for anybody applying for leadership. If you know that you are going to try to be a drum major or a captain of some sort, you need to tentatively reserve the dates for away leadership camp. We are going to be going back to the campground that we went to last year. Those dates that we're looking at is July 13th through 15th. And those are for captains and drum majors. I would love to take everybody who would make leadership, but just because of space reasons, we limit it to captains and drum majors. Anybody who gets a marching band leadership position, there'll be an all-staff work day on July 16th, so the day after we get back from camp, July 16th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Band Banquet and Masquerader. Band Banquet was currently scheduled for May 16th, which is the day after we're supposed to be able to come back on campus. We have not made any decisions on that yet. We're tentatively looking at pushing it back to after graduation, which I know may exclude some people, but we don't know what that looks like yet. I am not sure if I'm going to be able to order awards without anybody really working on campus at the school. The bookkeeper's not there all the time. I'm not sure if ordering awards is going to be possible. So awards may look differently this year. We will just have to play that by ear. And as soon as I know something about when we're going to do that, if we're going to move it, or even if we're going to try to make the Saturday date that is already on the calendar, I will let you know. Last couple things are about online learning. So for those of you who are in my class currently, here's what I'm expecting of you to do. You're to check into Canvas daily, watch any new content, view and do any assignments that are posted there. You have assignments on Sight Reading Factory. There are 5 of them. If you're to do 5 sight readings a week, I don't care if you do them all back to back or if you do them 1 per day, but they need to be submitted by Sunday at midnight. Smart Music. Smart Music has a bunch of assignments in there that you can submit at your own pace. So if you want to work ahead and do a bunch of the Smart Music assignments at once, you can do that. However, there's a due date, I believe, in mid-April for all of the assignments in Smart Music. If you do not have your instrument at home, all assignments can be done as a rhythm clapping only assignment. So when you go into Sight Reading Factory to do a daily sight reading, you can choose rhythm only if you don't have an instrument. If you have your instrument at home, you should try to do the sight reading on your instrument at the correct level. By the end of the day tomorrow, I'm going to send a Google form out, or actually it's going to be a Google Sheet, where you can sign up for a time when you can come check in with me on Zoom. I'll answer any questions you have, but I just want to talk to everybody and kind of see how it's going with all their other classes and just check in and make sure that people are kind of staying on track. So I will send out a form by the end of the day tomorrow with that information. And the last thing is instrument checkout. I say instrument checkout, but I mean if your instrument is at school currently. It is possible for you to get your instrument still. You'd have to call the front office. You'd have to arrange a time to come get it yourself if they'll allow it. Not every person who's up in the office will let you. I can also go to the school and get some things out and make some drops and stuff like that. If you want your instrument home, email me and I'll see what I can do. But I can't promise that I'll be able to do it, in the next day or, but I'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. If you need it faster than that, you can, again, call the front office and they can might be able to arrange a time for you to come get it. They may not, though. It's kind of up to them at this point because they're the ones on campus and I am not. So I think that is just about everything that I wanted to make sure I covered today. I'm going to stop the screen share at this point. Thank you for coming, and I'm going to open it up to questions and we can chat and whatnot starting now.